Right now, a gas leak in Dodge County leaves more than 1,000 homes without natural gas in the cold. What happened and where those folks are going to stay warm tonight. Plus, as COVID cases soar in Dane County, the state reaches a tragic new milestone for deaths. How local health officials are trying to get things under control. And the Badger faithful get things warmed up for football on a chilly night in Las Vegas. We'll take you there to share in the festivities. It's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Well, we're going to begin tonight with the weather, where there is a chance of more winter storms by the weekend. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti for the very latest. Gary?
Well, the next couple of days will be quiet, with temperatures actually a little warmer than they were today, but that'll just set the stage for a snow system on Saturday, followed by bitter cold air on Sunday. Time-lapse from the WISC Skycam shows sunshine this morning, giving way to some clouds this afternoon as a weather system was passing just to our south late in the day. And this evening, you can see there have been some snow showers and flurries. For the most part, the heavier snow has been across northern Illinois. Very little of this reaching the ground over southern Wisconsin. Temperatures right now are still in the 20s, closer to the Illinois state line, but you can see Madison's at 15, and temperatures drop off into the lower teens and single digits closer toward La Crosse. Wind chills right now not much of a factor because the winds are pretty light, but we do have alert days in the forecast for New Year's Day Saturday, for the potential for several inches of snow accumulation, along with windy and colder conditions. And then Sunday for bitterly cold weather, wind chills down to 20 below zero by morning, and actual air temperatures dropping below zero as well. By tomorrow morning, temperatures should be in the middle teens, probably about 14 here in Madison. We'll see variably cloudy skies tomorrow, high temperature topping out at 31 degrees, so not quite as cold as today. We'll have more on the weekend weather in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. It'll be a chilly night for more than 1,000 homes in the city of Juneau tonight. That's because natural gas in that area is going to be shut off due to a leak. Authorities in Dodge County evacuated an area after a crash that happened on State Highway 26, rupturing an above-ground gas pipe. Residents within a 1-mile radius of that crash site were notified and then evacuated. 5 homes had to be evacuated in the immediate area, as repairs are expected to last at least 8 hours.
We are recommending that people stay warm tonight. Once the Alliant does shut off the gas, that they stay in their homes, keep the doors and windows shut, as little entrance and exit as possible to keep the heat in, and just try to add some extra layers.
A warming shelter will be open throughout the night at Horicon High School. Another one set up at Sacred Heart Catholic Church, located at 950 Washington Street in Horicon. Roads near the leak are expected to remain closed as crews deal with those repairs. Detours will remain in place throughout the night. With Wisconsin now reporting over 10,000 deaths from COVID-19, Dane County seeing a record 7-day average of case counts. Both state and local health officials are working to get the virus under control. Our own McKenna Alexander breaks down the latest data.
With the new year just days away, millions are looking toward the future. But as COVID surges across the U.S., health officials are forced to focus on the present. Here in Wisconsin, that means closely monitoring local COVID data. Across Dane County, the 7-day average for new cases sits at 497, the highest it's been since the start of the pandemic. This comes as testing providers are booked days in advance, drive-through sightlines extend for blocks, and hospitals are grasping for resources as they near capacity.
And we find ourselves exceedingly full, essentially 100% full. We take one in as we send one out.
A capacity that's now beginning to be felt by already burnt-out hospital staff. UW health officials saying now the packed hospital rooms are made up of more than COVID patients.
This time around, it's like the deck is stacked a little bit higher against us.
The burnout and departures caused by this pandemic also leading to a staffing shortage among hospitals, meaning there are less providers despite increasing patients. But it's not just COVID patients that are filling the hospital beds. UW Health is also seeing patients that have put off procedures during the pandemic, as well as the state's aging population needing additional care. Not to mention a recent rise in influenza infections that officials say could lead to additional hospitalization. Yet another blow to healthcare workers that already feel they're at ground zero. For News 3 Now, this is McKenna Alexander.
Thanks, McKenna. Now, to see all the data mentioned in this story, head to our website, channel3000.com. Public Health Madison and Dane County adopting the CDC's new COVID-19 recommendations. The updated guidance reduces the amount of time a person who tests positive for COVID-19 should isolate. Now, a person who tests positive only needs to isolate for 5 days. The guidance also lowers the 5 days recommended quarantine period for those who are unvaccinated or not boosted who come into contact with someone with COVID-19. The FDA authorizing 2 new over-the-counter at-home COVID-19 tests. The Roche and Siemens at-home tests went through the Biden administration's new accelerated review program. Those tests are the first to gain FDA authorization through the program, which is set to bring tens of millions of new tests per month to the United States. The demand for COVID tests is so high right now that lines at the Fitchburg Family Pharmacy are affecting traffic there. So the Fitchburg PD and the Public Works Department have come up with a map to address the issue. You will need to enter the testing line from Fish Hatchery Road at Caddis Bend, and from there, drivers should simply follow the signs and cones to the testing area in the pharmacy parking lot. You can get a required QR code for testing on the pharmacy's website. We have a link to it at channel3000.com. And Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee will once again require everyone to wear masks. The guidance covers all events at the venue, including games, concerts, and shows. The policy will go into effect this Friday when the Harlem Globetrotters make their annual New Year's Eve visit to the city of Milwaukee. The Westminster Kennel Club postponing its annual dog show. It was scheduled for late January, but will now happen later in the year. A new date has not been set. First held back in 1877, the dog show attracts thousands of competitors from all around the United States. Normally held in February with semifinal and final rounds at Madison Square Garden. Next at 10, in less than a week, the trial for a Dane County man accused of killing and dismembering his parents will begin. Today, the prosecution in the Chandler Halderson trial clarified what kind of evidence was permitted to bring to the trial. Jury selection for the case scheduled for Monday, January 3rd. The trial itself expected to take as long as 3 weeks. We will have live coverage of the trial on channel3000.com, our social media pages, and a Channel 3000 Plus streaming app. The Waukesha Christmas Parade Memorial is no longer at Veterans Park there. Today it was decommissioned with a closing ceremony. The memorial has been up for more than a month now and has grown to become a symbol of hope for the community there. All of the items there were picked up by the Waukesha Historical Society for preservation.
Even though the items won't be here, the spirit will still be there. The love and the caring will still be here.
On January 18th, the Waukesha Common Council will consider the creation of a permanent memorial commission. That commission will then work with the city and community leaders to decide the best location for a memorial. Well, it's the players, not the fans, right, who dictate the winner of the Las Vegas Bowl tomorrow night. But never tell that to a Badger fan. Lane Kimball joins us live in Las Vegas tonight, where a pregame pep rally just wrapped up just a little while ago. Lane?
Eric, let me set the scene for you here, okay? The sun had set, the temperature was falling, the winds were swirling. Perfect conditions to make a Wisconsin fan feel right at home, right? And it didn't take the Badger band very long to warm them up. This doesn't sound like happy birthday to you. But to 7-year-old Lonnie Labotsky and her mother, it's perfect.
We want to win. We want the Badgers to win as the special 8th birthday present.
Lonnie's birthday is Thursday, game day. It's a chance to see her Badgers play in person for the first time ever. So, yeah, her excitement level?
10 to 10.
But this trip from southeast Wisconsin to Nevada isn't just for her. Lonnie's older sister plays trumpet in the Badger band. Just like Jenny Moran's son, Sean.
We follow the Badgers to a lot of their bowl games, but partially because Sean's marching in it a lot that. So we get to see it, and it'll be fun. Get to make them win a game.
Some of those other games have been in warmer conditions, like Pasadena. Wednesday's pep rally in Vegas, a deceiving 48 degrees and windy.
It's pretty cold. We're wearing our winter coats pretty much. Yeah, we get to jump around. Woohoo!
Whether it's jumping around or shouting at the top of their lungs, Badger fans are definitely ready for kickoff.
I see a lot of red here, so we have a ton of Badger fans here, which makes it even more enjoyable.
Meaning a big crowd of Badger backers confident in their team, delivering the best present of all.
Go Badgers! Woohoo!
Go Badgers! Woo!
Go Badgers!
We We have talked a lot about the weather here, and it is cold by Vegas's standards. And tomorrow, there's actually a 50% chance of rain in this area. Good news is Allegiant Stadium has a roof on top, a roof that Badger fans hope to blow off. Covering the Badgers live in Las Vegas tonight, Lane Kimball, News 3 Now.
Badger fans always turn out. Lane, thank you. Still more ahead on News 3 Now at 10, including how the U.S. and South Korea are one step closer to officially ending the Korean War. Plus, after days of deliberation, a verdict is reached in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, what the jury decided, and what's next for the case.
You're watching Madison's fastest growing newscast. News 3 Now at 10.
It's the Portage Furniture Store's New Year's sale on now. Get top name brands of furniture for every room in your house with a large selection of in-stock inventory of power lift chairs and always free delivery. The Portage Furniture Store's New Year's sale. Open New Year's Day 11 to 4.
Thank you, honey. And thank you, kids. And thank you, me.
And here are your keys.
Did you know that every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? A 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. The value of a Toyota just keeps getting better.
It all ends January 3rd.
Toyota, let's go places.
News 3 Now compiles a quarterly report of our programming efforts to serve the educational and informational needs of children in the News 3 Now viewing area. These reports are part of our public inspection file, which is open to the public view during regular business hours. To view the report or contribute comments, contact the News 3 Now program director at 608-271-4321 or write to us at News 3 Now, 7025 Raymond Road, Madison, Wisconsin, 53719.
Are you okay?
Oh, it's just a cold. If you have high blood pressure, a cold is not just a cold. Unlike other cold medicines, Coracetin provides powerful cold relief without raising your blood pressure. Be there for life's best moments with Coracetin, now in sugar-free liquid.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Dad.
You ready?
This holiday, U.S. Cellular is doing a little something extra to keep everyone connected. Right now, choose any phone from any brand at any of our stores for free. Plus, save big with unlimited data for our best price of the season, just $30 a month. Now that's a deal to cheer about. Feel the locally grown joy from U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Away from your TV? Not a problem. Get breaking news, weather alerts, and political coverage from the award-winning News 3 Now team. Plus, all things Madison. Stay connected anywhere with Channel 3000, Madison's #1 digital news source.
It's the Portage Furniture Store's New Year's sale on now. Get top name brands of furniture for every room in your house, with hundreds of Lazy Boy recliners in stock starting at $3.99 and always free delivery. The Portage Furniture Store's New Year's sale. Open New Year's Day 11 to 4.
The Badgers are rolling the dice for a win in the Las Vegas bowl game.
We'll have a preview tomorrow morning from Vegas.
And a possible winter storm for the weekend. We're going to break that down tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Jurors in the Ghislaine Maxwell sex trafficking trial deliberated for 5 full days before finding Maxwell guilty on all but one count. CBS News correspondent Michael George with the latest from New York.
The jury in the case against Ghislaine Maxwell convicted her on 5 of the 6 counts she faced in the closely watched sex trafficking trial. That includes the most serious charge, the grooming and trafficking of young girls. Maxwell faces up to 65 years in a federal prison.
We firmly believe in Ghislaine's innocence. Obviously, we are very disappointed with the verdict. We have already started working on the appeal, and we are confident that she will be vindicated.
The British socialite was accused of luring teenage girls to be sexually abused by her former millionaire boyfriend and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. In 2019, Epstein died by what officials ruled a suicide in a Manhattan jail cell as he awaited trial. 4 accusers testified that Maxwell witnessed them being abused by Epstein, arranged their travel, and even instructed them how to give Epstein massages. charges. Some of the accusers were as young as 14 at the time. Two said Maxwell herself groped them.
Maxwell didn't testify in her own defense. She told the court she didn't need to because the prosecution failed to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt.
This is a great day for these women to feel vindicated. And of course, a terrible day for Ghislaine Maxwell because she will have to face many, many years in prison.
A sentencing date was not immediately set, and Maxwell still faces trial on 2 counts of perjury. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
South Korea has effectively agreed with the U.S. on a draft declaring an official end to the Korean War. Fighting in the Korean War concluded with a ceasefire agreement back in 1953, but on paper, the war never officially ended as there was no peace treaty between North and South Korea. A U.S. State Department spokesperson said the U.S. is ready to meet with North Korea without preconditions. In September, North Korea's vice foreign minister said South Korea's call to declare an end to the war was premature due to, quote, U.S. hostile policy toward Pyongyang. Well, new federal regulations will require all new cars to be equipped with an alert system aimed at preventing hot car deaths. The advocacy group Kids and Cars says on average 39 children die in hot cars each year. Now a new provision in the infrastructure law will require automakers to install backseat alert systems in all new vehicles. Many of them already have such systems in place, including GM, Chevy, and Hyundai. It's not yet known when the rear seat reminder mandate will go into effect. The law gives the Department of Transportation 2 years to implement that new rule. Icy road conditions are being blamed for another major crash on a Wisconsin interstate. This in western Wisconsin on I-94 outside of Eau Claire. Check out the drone video of the scene. Cars and trucks backed up for miles. Several people were injured following 2 crashes involving semis and other vehicles. There were also several minor crashes on the same roadway. No deaths have been reported. Meanwhile, parts of California dealing with a lot of snow after heavy storms moved through the area yesterday. You can see this young man completely submerging himself. This is in South Lake Tahoe. The kid's dad says his son is over 5 feet tall. According to the National Weather Service, the coldest air in nearly 5 years is set to arrive in that area by the weekend. We are unlikely to get anywhere near that much snow here, but still might see a bit of it as we roll into 2022. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary.
Yeah, that snow is actually good news for them because that helps to replenish the snowpack that eventually melts and becomes the groundwater that starts to flow out of the rivers into the spring. But around here, we just had some very light snow and flurries through far southern Wisconsin, some very minor accumulations across parts of northern Illinois, but for the most part, the more persistent snows have stayed to the south of us. As we take a look at 3 things you need to know in the forecast, look for dry weather for tomorrow and for Friday, New Year's Eve. High temperatures will be in the lower 30s. Then snow will develop for New Year's Day, Saturday. We're looking at several inches of snow with the heaviest snow totals more likely down toward the Illinois state line. And then bitterly cold weather moves in for Sunday, the day after New Year's Day, with a low temperature of about 3 below 0 here in Madison, high temperature only at 10, and wind chills in the morning as cold as 20 degrees below 0. For New Year's Eve itself, I'm looking for a high temperature of 31 degrees with dry conditions. Temperatures warming up nicely during the day, and then by midnight, those temperatures start to fall off. So we're looking for midnight temperature of around 20 degrees, and then for New Year's Day, snow probably heaviest in the late morning to, say, late afternoon hours, and then those temperatures only struggling up into the middle teens. The winds will stay brisk, and the accumulating snow will start to wind down as we head into New Year's Day evening. We have alert days in the forecast for New Year's Day Saturday for that snow potential, and then for Sunday for the bitterly cold temperatures. Right now, my thinking is that there'll be a swath of, and a fairly narrow swath of heavier snow, mainly across northern Illinois. Now, the northern edge of this could shift northward or southward a little bit with time, but right now, there'll be a pretty sharp cutoff to the north because the very bitterly cold air that'll be coming in after the snow will dry out the air. So once you start getting north of the Dells, those amounts should drop off pretty rapidly. The more likely areas of seeing perhaps 3, 4, 5, or 6 inches of snow down toward the Illinois state line. Madison, probably somewhere in the 2 to 4 inch range, and a little bit lesser amounts to the north. But again, these amounts are subject to change, but that's kind of what the computer models are looking at right now. And then we get followed by the bitterly cold air. These are low temperatures this morning, and you can see just how cold that bitterly cold air is. Those are actual low temperatures in the 20s below 0. Around here, our high temperature of 34 was early in the day, but notice to the north and west, those temperatures stay below 0 0 or right at 0 all day. And these are current temperatures. Again, already close to 20 below 0 in northeastern Montana, 10 below 0 in International Falls, Minnesota. And wind chills right now are running in the 30s and 40s below 0 up across parts of North Dakota and Montana, where wind chill warnings are in effect. Meantime, on the southern side of the system, there's been showers and thunderstorms, some severe weather over parts of the southeastern part of the country. Several reports of tornadoes and wind damage, and they may see another round of severe weather in the southeastern part of the country tomorrow, and then again for New Year's Day as our snow system passes by across our part of the Midwest. So for tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 31 degrees. We'll see variably cloudy skies, and not quite as cold as today. And then again, that snow for New Year's Day, we're probably looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 to 3 inches north of Madison, 3 to 6 inches to the south. But again, this is subject to change. We're still about 3 days out on this. 7 to 10 day forecast. Look for a high of 16 on New Year's Day, with temperatures starting to fall off pretty rapidly once the snow ends. And by Sunday morning, we're down to 3 below 0 with a high of only 10. Temperatures should rebound pretty quickly for the middle part of next week, back to around freezing by Tuesday and Wednesday. And then another weather system may bring us some accumulating snow about Thursday, followed by a shot of colder air after that.
All right, Gary, thank you. Glenway Golf Park, the golf course there, wants to remind everyone that their grounds are closed to the public this winter. The park currently undergoing some changes, including the installation of new greens and turf. Major project there. Now, officials say activities like sledding or cross-country skiing could cause some issues with those new greens. Park supervisors asking people to find other locations to enjoy the winter outdoors.
Our coverage of the Las Vegas Bowl continues next in sports, and we're going to hear from a former Badger who knows what it's like to play under the bright lights of Allegiant Stadium.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
This might look like a cliffhanger.
But this is the Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 14 models.
Better bring that home for the holidays.
In winter, you add an extra layer when you head outside. This year, you can do the same thing inside, too. A COVID booster makes your protection stronger, even against Delta and Omicron. So if you're vaccinated and 16 or older, give yourself an extra layer of protection in crowded stores, restaurants, wherever. Right when you need it most.
Over these past months, we've all experienced changes and a great deal of reflection. But here's a change you can truly be excited about. Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, permanently removes the fat from your stomach, hips and thighs, and back.
I walked past mirrors. I didn't want to see any of that. I can't even tell you how excited I am about Sono Bello and what they've done for me.
I'm just living my best life now because I'm being the best that I can be.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently. Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. Plus, get $250 off instantly. You deserve to do something for you. Call 1-888-512-1753 or go to sonobello.com now.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp, or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably serve and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
Don't let stress wear you down. End the year feeling great at Planet Fitness with our big end-of-year sale. Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Now through December 31st. And end the year on the right or left foot with tons of variety and space in our squeaky clean clubs. And use a crowd meter in our app to pick the best time to visit. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Hurry, the big end-of-year sale ends December 31st.
Join now at your local club or online at planetfitness.com. Hurry, deal ends Friday, December 31st.
This might look like a cliffhanger.
But this is the Nissan sales event ad.
Save up to $42.62 on select models.
Better bring that home for the holidays.
In less than 24 hours, the Las Vegas Bowl will be underway. While this isn't the Badgers' first trip to Vegas, it will be the team's first time playing under the bright lights of Allegiant Stadium. But the team is getting some advice from someone who knows what it's like to play there, former Badger Alec Ingold, who currently plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. In fact, Ingold scored the first touchdown in Allegiant Stadium when it opened in 2020. Lane Kimball got to chat with Alec on Zoom this afternoon, and he compared the stadium to the biggest heavyweight boxing match you could imagine, but football style.
Camp Randall playing there, it's, there's a lot of events with the stands and the fans are really involved, the fifth quarter, that whole thing. Here, it's like they shut all the lights off around it. It's the spotlight in the middle of the field, and you're just playing ball. It's really cool.
And there's just something about Milwaukee and winning. The Badger men's hockey team punched their ticket to the Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off Championship last night after an incredible overtime game winner by Brock Caulfield. Now, turning the page on that game, the Badgers return to Pfizer Forum tonight to face 16th-ranked Providence for the tournament title. Well, Providence strikes first. They net back-to-back goals, but don't count out the Badgers. They answer right back in the final period. Matthew Desaint-Fall nets the equalizer. This game heads to overtime, then a shootout where the Badgers do it. They are heading home tourney champs. The Badger men's basketball team returns to the hardwood after 2 weeks of no action. Wisconsin's game with George Mason last week got canceled after COVID-19 issues, so this is the Badgers' first contest since their come-from-behind win on December 15th. And they're picking up right where they left off, this time with Illinois State. Johnny Davis times this out perfectly, takes it down for the one-hand jam. Wisconsin up by 15. And they're going to hold that double-digit lead going into halftime. But the second half, things are not going to go really differently. The Redbirds start to rally, and it comes down to fouls and free throws. But Wisconsin pulls it off. They go on to win their 10th game of the season, 89-85. And in high school hoops, Beloit Memorial and Marshall facing off in the Evansville Holiday Classic. It's close from the start. Kean McAtee sinks a triple from the corner to help Beloit snag the lead. But as halftime approaches, the intensity dials up. Cardinals up by 2. They just know who to get the ball to. Craig Ward, he leads the team in points and assists per game. And here's another one to add to his resume. He drops 30 in this game alone. Marshall's undefeated streak stays alive. 52-49 the final. And with the regular season winding down, Aaron Rodgers has some big decisions to make about what he's going to do next season. It's a question that's been asked several times this year. Is he staying or is he going? Today, number 12 gave some insight as to what his next steps could be come the offseason.
It won't be something where I'll drag it out for months and months, have conversations with my loved ones after the season, with Brian and Mark and Russ and the coaching staff, and then make a decision at some point. I'm not going to hold the team back from anything. And once I commit, and if it's committing, to move forward here, it'll be a quick decision.
As for now, the Packers are going to shift around the roster a little bit. There's some good coming out of it. Jair Alexander is officially activated from the injured reserve, but the team does add more players to the reserve COVID-19 list. We'll be right back.
It's the Ayers Furniture New Year's sale with huge savings on quality name brands, including Lazy Boy, with recliners starting at $5.99, and Smith Brothers Amish handcrafted sofas at special New Year's sale prices. Ayers Furniture with free delivery. The New Year's sale. Don't miss it.
We love our new home. Lots of windows, great light.
But the birds. They're back.
Yes, I hear them. Uh-oh.
Why are these birds so angry?
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
I'm going.
Hurry, hurry!
I know.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Are you okay?
Oh, it's just a cold. If you have high blood pressure, a cold is not just a cold. Unlike other cold medicines, Coracetin provides powerful cold relief without raising your blood pressure. Be there for life's best moments with Coracetin, now in sugar-free liquid.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Dad.
You ready?
This holiday, U.S. Cellular is doing a little something extra to keep everyone connected. Right now, now, choose any phone from any brand at any of our stores for free. Plus, save big with unlimited data for our best price of the season, just $30 a month. Now that's a deal to cheer about. Feel the locally grown joy from U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
If your bathroom is dull and outdated, then it's time for a change. Call Mad City Baths, Wisconsin's #1 remodeler and trusted local source for high-quality baths, showers, and walk-in tubs installed in as little as 1 day. Infused with Microban to prevent bacteria, mold, and mildew. Call Mad City Baths now for our year-end blowout sale. 75% off installation on a new bath or shower. No interest and no payments for 18 months. Look at the bonus. 75% off select upgrades. And if you call right now, we have a nice gift for you. A $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. It's our year-end blowout sale. Check us out at madcitybaths.com. Throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
News 3 Now's Call for Action has settled hundreds of area consumer disputes, but we can't do it without our dedicated team of volunteers. Would you like to join us? Contact Call for Action by phone or visit channel3000.com to fill out an application now.
It's the Ayers Furniture New Year's sale with huge savings on quality name brands including Sealy with queen size sets starting at $4.99 and Flex Steel sofas at special New Year's sales prices. Ayers Furniture with free delivery. The New Year's sale on now.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
Welcome back. Biologists say they have discovered a bunch of rare mussels in the upper St. Croix River. 8 spectacle mussels were discovered back in August. They rely on moon-eye and gold-eye fish to serve as hosts for their larvae, but a dam built back in 1907 stopped the fish from swimming upstream and reaching the mussels. So researchers stopped looking for them upstream back in 1987. They say the mussels could be more than 100 years old. Gary rejoins us now. Final check of your forecast.
Well, most of the flurries are winding down. There's a live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Not seeing any flurries there. Just some light snow across parts of northern Illinois, but nothing else really reported reaching the ground in southern Wisconsin. Temperatures right now, 20s down toward the Illinois state line, teens elsewhere. Look for a low tonight of about 14, high tomorrow 31 with a few breaks in the clouds. This is the snowfall potential we're looking at, a kind of a first guess for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day Saturday, and then look for bitterly cold air on Sunday, followed by a warm up for the middle of next week.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10. Hope you have a great night.